Second Peter is an almost last will and testament written to warn the beloved believers in Christ about the doctrinal dangers they would be facing. The letter was probably written from a Roman jail in about 67 A.D., just before the death of Nero, remembering that Peter probably died in Nero's persecution in about A.D. 68. Therefore, 2 Peter was written for the purpose of exposing, thwarting, and defeating the invasion of false teachers into the church. It's been said that 2 Peter stands second only to Jude in being so graphic in exposing false teachers. Warren Wiersbe said, the best way to detect falsehood is to understand the characteristics of truth. In general characterization of false teachers, and how this fits into the context of what happened around the world with the Da Vinci Code yesterday, he informs us of the basic tenets of false teachers. Number one, they teach destructive heresies. Number two, they deny Christ and twist the scriptures. Number three, they bring true faith into disrespect, or disrepute. Number four, they mock the second coming of Christ. And number five, they display immoral character. So as a result, Peter describes them in more detail, and then he describes their doctrines, their teachings. Peter moves into this message to motivate the readers to continue to develop their Christian character. He explains wonderfully how a believer can have assurance of his salvation, as well as what has robbed believers of their certainty. One of the major recurring themes is the importance of knowledge, and the word that is used more times than not is experiential knowledge. Not just the capacity to know, but the ability to engage and embrace and to experience the very life of the Son of God, where he becomes so much of you and you become so much of him that you're overwhelmed with the intimacy and the life change that Jesus Christ brings. One of the major themes is that subject. We see it 16 times in 3 chapters. It's not too much to say that Peter's primary solution to false teaching is knowledge of true doctrine. And listen, I know this truth for the express purpose that by the grace of God, I obey that truth. And as I obey, that obedience brings spiritual growth.